आपका बयान हो जाए उस्ताद पर।
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen Amma ba'd fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim Salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulullah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habibullah Salatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiyullah وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا نور الله نويت سنة الاعتكاف. Our beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam has said that recite durood upon me, indeed it will be nur for you on the bridge of Sirat. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa baraka wa sallam. Today is 18th of Ramzanul Mubarak, and yesterday on the 17th of Ramzanul Mubarak, a historical incident of Ghazwa Badr occurred. This was the first battle of Islam. And Ghazwa is that battle, or that battle is known as Ghazwa, in which Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wa sallam himself participated. It was the first battle of Islam, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam himself participated in that battle. Why Ghazwa Badr took place? What was the reason behind that? And what was the result or the outcome of the battle? What was the preparation of the Muslims for the battle? Inshallah, we'll discuss all that in today's bayan. Actually, a caravan of Quraysh went on a journey of a business, and they were having the goods or the supply of the amount of 50,000 gold coins. They had 30 to 40 guards as well with them for the security. But when they passed near Madinatul Munawwara, they had a fear that the Muslims will loot our caravan. It was the second hijrah of the second year of the migration. 2 years ago, Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam migrated from Makkatul Mukarramah to Madinatul Munawwara with his companions. And the kuffar of the Quraysh had the fear that they will loot our caravan. Abu Sufyan, who did not accept Islam yet, he sent a person to Makkah al-Mukarramah to inform Quraysh in Makkah that we have the fear that our caravan will be plundered, will be looted by Muslims. So send some more people for the help so that we can protect our caravan from looting. But the person who has been sent by Abu Sufyan was habitual of exaggerating things. You know, like some people, they have the habit of exaggeration, they do exaggerate when they talk. When he reached Makkah al-Mukarramah, he spread a wrong news that the caravan has been looted already, you must rush to help the caravan. When this wrong news spread in Makkah al-Mukarramah, all the Quraysh of the Makkah, they became worried and stressed because many of them invested a big amount of money in that caravan for the business. So they sat together to have a meeting that what must we do now. So they finally decided that we must prepare a big army to go and help the caravan or to protect the caravan. At the same time, they promised each other that we will wipe out the Muslims completely from the earth. They prepared the army of 1,000 people with a lot of goods and other provision which was required for the battle and the journey and the travel. When they prepared the army of 1,000 people, 1,000 expert soldiers who had the experience of fighting a war, there in Madinatul Munawwara, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has also been informed about their preparation and about their plan. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam gathered his Sahaba Ikram to have meeting with them, to have suggestions with them as what must we do in these circumstances. This also proves that whenever you want to do any important thing, you must have mashwara with wise people. Almighty Allah will put barakah in that, blessings in that. As Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had mashwara and the meeting with his companions, so it proves that having mashwara and meeting with Muslims or with wise people is the sunnah of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. There were a lot of challenges already in Madinatul Munawwara for Muslims. Like as I told you, it was the second year of the migration after they left Makkah al-Mukarramah. There were Jews living near Madinatul Munawwara and they were totally against Muslims and Islam. They were strongly against the Islam and they were the strong enemies of Muslims. And at the same time, they were hypocrites, those who used to claim to be the Muslim, but they were not Muslim. They were hypocrites. They were claiming to be with Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, but they were against Islam, they were against Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So in all those circumstances, Muslims were new in in Madinatul Munawwara. They left everything in Makkah al-Mukarramah when they went. They left their relatives, they left their businesses, their families, everything they left behind. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam asked his companions as what must we do in these circumstances when kuffar are coming with the army of 1,000 soldiers to fight against us. We have understood that Muslims did not have any plan to loot the caravan, as well as they did not have any plan of any war, any battle. When Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam asked his companions, Ridwanullahi Alaihim Ajma'in, so from the Muhajirin, Sahaba Ikram, Hazrat Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, and Sayyidina Umar Farooq Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu came forward and said, Ya Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, we are ready to sacrifice our lives on your feet. We are ready to sacrifice each and everything on your blessed feet, Ya Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And from the Ansar Sahaba Ikram, Ridwanullahi Alaihim Ajma'in, Hazrat Miqdad radiyallahu ta'ala anhu stood up and said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, we are not going to answer you the way the nation of Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam answered him when Musa alayhi salatu wasalam asked them to fight against the nation of Amalika. When Musa alayhi salatu wasalam asked his nation to fight against the nation Amalika, they said that you and your Lord go and fight with them, we will remain seated here. The nation of Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam was so blessed, Almighty Allah blessed them so much that man and salwa used to descend from the sky for them. Dress used to be descending from the sky for them. As well as the clouds used to give them shade in the heat of the sun. But they were not grateful to Almighty Allah, thankful to Almighty Allah for all these bounties and the favors. Living a luxury life, instead of living a luxury life, they did not have to worry about the food, they did not have to worry about the other provisions, dress, uniform, clothes, anything. Everything used to be provided by Almighty Allah from the sky. But they were so ungrateful people that they didn't pay any gratitude, any thank to Almighty Allah for all these favors. They didn't pay thank to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. Rather, they said, you and your Lord go and fight against the nation of Amalika. We will remain seated here. Hazrat Miqdad radiallahu ta'ala stood up and said, we are not going to answer you the way they answered Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, no matter we have left everything, in Makkah al-Mukarramah, meaning Muhajirin Sahaba said that. Ansar were already present there. So the Miqdad said, we are not going to answer you. We are not going to disappoint you, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Our each and everything is going to be sacrificed on your blessed feet, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Sahaba Ikram ridwanullahi alayhim did not have enough weapons. They did not have enough swords. They did not have enough experience of the battle and the war, but they have the power of Iman. So the power of the Iman is dominant over everything. The power of the Iman is more than anything else. The power of the Iman helps you. They said, Ya Rasulullah, we are not going to answer you the way they answered. Karu tere naam pe jaan fida, na bas ek jaan, do jahan fida, do jahan se bhi nahi ji bara, karu kya karoron jahan nahi, karu kya karoron jahan nahi. Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we are going to sacrifice each and everything for you. मैं निसार तेरे कलाम पर मिली यूं तो किसको जुबान नहीं, वो सुखन है जिसका सुखन ना हो वो बयां है जिसका बयां नहीं. हुस्ने यूसुफ पे कटी मिस्र में अंकुशते जना, सर कटाते हैं तेरे नाम पे मर्दाने अरब. In Egypt, when the women of Egypt, Misr, they saw the beauty of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, they cut their fingers. On what? On the beauty, the husn of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. But here, they are not sacrificing their life on the husn of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. They are not sacrificing, their lives for any other purpose. उसने यूसुफ पे कटी मिस्र में अंकुशते जना, सर कटाते हैं. They are not going to cut their fingers. सर कटाते हैं. They are ready to, sacrifice their lives, chop off their heads. On what thing? तेरे नाम पे मर्दान अरब, सिर्फ आपके नाम पे या रसूलुल्लाह. अरब के मर्दान, अरब के मर्द, अरब के सहाबा आपके नाम पर अपनी जान कुर्बान करने के लिए तैयार हो. Anyway, in this situation, Sahaba Ikram ridwanullahi alayhim said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we are with you. Now the preparation of the war started. There was another challenge for the Muslims when they came in the battlefield Badr. The place where Muslim stayed, it has lot of soil and sand. And it was difficult for them to move on the soil and sand. And on the other side where Kuffar of the Makkah stayed, it was a solid ground. it was easy for them to move on their ground. And in that situation, the night before the Ghazwa Badr took place, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam remained busy in dua. Whole night is spent in making duas in the bargah of Almighty Allah. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam made dua, Ya Allah, these are the only Muslims which I got. These are the only Muslims. 313 Muslims were present at that time. On the other side, they were so covered bushful that they prepared the army of 1,000 people to fight against 313 Muslims. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Ya Allah, they are the only ones. And if they are going to be defeated or killed today, there won't be anyone to mention your name. There won't be anyone to worship you, Ya Allah, on this earth. Almighty Allah showered two special mercies upon the Muslims on that night. One is that Almighty Allah blessed them with a sweet and sound sleep. They slept at that night with peace. When anyone knows that tomorrow I'm going to fight with someone, and I don't know whether that day is going to be my last day of the life or I will remain alive, how will you sleep? But Almighty Allah blessed them with a very, very peaceful and sweet sleep. All the Sahaba Ikram, don't like an my friend, slept enough and they got up very fresh in the following morning. And the other mercy which Almighty Allah descended upon them, Almighty Allah blessed them with a heavy rain. Heavy rain. Barish atabi. What happened when the rain came? The soil and the sand became solid ground. It was difficult to move on it before, but now it had become a solid ground, so it was easy for them to move on their ground. And the other side, which was already a solid ground, it developed the mud, and it became difficult for them to walk on the mud, to move on the mud. So Almighty Allah blessed them with water as well. They gathered the water in the holes. That water became enough for them for drinking, for wudu, for bath, for everything. So now the war started. Meanwhile, when the war started, two kids came forward. And they went to the Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And they said that, they asked him that, where is Abu Jahl? Two kids. They did not have the experience of the war. They were just kids, but they had jazba imani. They had the power of iman. They knew and they had, this feeling that if there is anyone who is the enemy of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who came as the enemy to fight against Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, फिर हमारी जिंदगियों का कोई फायदा नहीं है. Then there is no use to live on this earth. Rather, let us go and sacrifice our life on the feet of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They came and asked Ibn Abdul Rahman bin Auf, where is Abu Jahl? Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiallahu ta'ala anhu asked them that, why are you asking about Abu Jahl? They said, we want to kill him. You want to kill him? He asked them that, how can you kill him? He is the leader of the kuffar. He got a strong army with him. Lot of soldiers are, he's surrounded with lot of soldiers and guards. You can't even reach him. So they said that, कसम खाई है, मर जाएंगे या मारेंगे नारी को, सुना है ये गालियां देता है बापू बेबारी को. This was the iman and the power of the kids which they had, which Almighty Allah blessed them with. They said, we will kill him. Either we will kill him or we will sacrifice our life on the field of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When Hazrat Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiallahu ta'ala anhu heard the answer, full of wisdom from these two kids, so he said that, look towards that side, a person sitting on a black horse, surrounded with a lot of guards. That person is Abu Jahl. They ran towards Abu Jahl like, lightning, like a sharp lightning. And right, after a short while, they reached Abu Jahl. Very first thing which they did, they hit the legs of the horse of Abu Jahl. The horse fell down as well as Abu Jahl fell down. Guards were there, security was there, soldiers were there, but they could not do anything. Abu Jahl was even shocked as what had happened all of a sudden. Now, after he fell down from the horse, they started striking him, hitting him, and in a very short period of time, they killed him. Abu Jahl has been killed. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam came to know about the murder of Abu Jahl. When Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam came to know about the murder of Abu Jahl, right after hearing that, he went and prostrated in the bargah of Almighty Allah, made sajda shukr in the bargah of Almighty Allah, as the biggest enemy of Islam has been killed. By who? By two small kids. In fact, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, before he has been killed, the night before the Ghazwa Badr, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam went and marked the places. This is the place where Utbah will be killed and his body will be laid here. This is the place where Abu Jahl will be killed and his body will be laid here. This is the place where Walid will be killed and his body will be laid here. This is the place where that kafir will be killed, where that kafir will be killed. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam knew all that. When Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to know, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam performed sajda shukr. It also teaches us that whenever you achieve any success, we must prostrate in the bargah of Almighty Allah. We must pay sajda shukr in the bargah of Almighty Allah. And the method of sajda shukr, if you don't know, is that whenever you want to perform sajda shukr, you must stand towards the Qibla direction and go while saying Allahu Akbar. Go and perform sajda and then stand up. That is the way of performing sajda shukr. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam performed sajda shukr. These two kids, after killing Abu Jahl, they didn't go back. They didn't, feel that we have achieved our target, so we should rather go back. They continued fighting with other kuffar in Makkah. One of the kuffar, one of the disbelievers, struck an arrow in the arm of one of the two kids and broke his arm. He took the sword in his other hand and started fighting. He realized, he felt that by this arm is becoming an obstacle in fighting. He put his arm under his foot, jerked it, broke it and threw it away. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam meanwhile saw that his arm is damaged and threw it away. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam came forward. He put his blessed saliva on the arm and placed it back, and it became like a normal arm again. It became a normal arm again. Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Sahaba Ikram Ridwanullahi alayhim ajmain had the power of Iman on some other level. How many weapons they had with them? Only 2 horses, few camels, and 8 swords. 330 people just had 8 swords. Other Sahaba Ikram who did not have the swords while going to the battlefield, they broke the branches of the palm tree and they made them the sword. Usi ko talwar bana liya and they started fighting with those branches of the palm tree. This was the jazba and power of the Iman. When you have the power of the Iman, then you don't need any other weapon. Your Iman, your power of Iman is going to help you. Your power of the Iman is sufficient. Your power of the Iman is going to help you. Even if you don't have enough apparent weapons, you will be victorious with the help of Almighty Allah, with the support of Almighty Allah. You will be victorious in this world as well as in the hereafter. Sahaba Ikram Ridwanullahi alayhim ajmain left everything behind when they migrated. They didn't worry about their wives. They didn't worry about their children. They didn't worry about their relatives. They left only for the sake of Almighty Allah. Only for the sake of Rasulullah. Only to please Almighty Allah. Only to please Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And how strange this war was, this battle was, itni ajeeb aur हैरान होने ये जंग थी. If father is standing with Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the son was standing with disbelievers. If one brother is fighting from the side of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, another brother was fighting from the side of the disbelievers. If the nephew is with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, uncle was with disbelievers. But they did not consider any relation at that time. The opponent of the Nabi was their opponent. The enemy of the Nabi was their enemy. They did not consider any relation. They were fighting only for the sake of Almighty Allah. They did not have any personal interest in that battle. They did not have any personal ego for which they were fighting. They did not have any personal benefit. They were not greedy for any ruling position that if we, if we win this war, we are going to be blessed with a position of rulership. Nothing was there. There was only one thing, that they were ready to sacrifice their life on the feet of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When you have jazba and power of the iman like that, then the help of Almighty Allah descends. Then the angels of Almighty Allah come to help you. Sahaba Ikram Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in asked Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam after the battle, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we were hearing some voice from unseen. Someone was saying, Hey Zoom, move forward. Hey Zoom, move forward. Hey Zoom, move forward. What was that voice? Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it was Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam, and he was commanding and ordering his horse to move forward so that he can kill the kuffar of Makkah. Sahaba Ikram Ridwanullahi alayhim also said that while we were fighting, we intended to chop off the necks of the disbelievers, but before we chop off their necks, there was some unseen power. Due to the unseen power, the necks used to be chopped off. Before our sword used to reach them. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Almighty Allah descended angels to help you and support you. In this battle, 14 Sahaba Ikram Ridwanullahi alayhim got martyred. They attained Shahada, and 70 disbelievers have been killed and 70 have been captured. 70 have been captured. One of them was Abbas, the uncle of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After they have been arrested, Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu requested Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam that I am your uncle, let me go back. Free me. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, pay your fidya and go. He said that I don't have anything to pay. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, no, you have. You got, pay and go. He said, no, I don't have anything to pay. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that where is that gold which you left when you came to the battle of Badr? Where is that gold? You left with your wife. When the Abbas left Makkah al-Mukarramah, he advised his wife that you must not inform anyone about this gold. If I come back, I will take from you, and if I don't come back, you still are not allowed to inform anyone about this gold. But here Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is asking, where is that gold? जब अब्बास रज़ियल्लाहु ताला ने देखा कि नबी पाक सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को उस गोल्ड की खबर हो गई, किसी को खबर नहीं, मैं तो वाइफ को बता कर आया था, किसी को नहीं बताना, मैं जानता हूँ या मेरी बीवी जानती है, और आमिना के लाल को यहाँ पर खबर हो गई, आप समझ गए कि ये नबी सच्चा नबी है, फौरन कलमा पढ़कर दारा इस्लाम के अंदर, फौरन कलमा पढ़कर दारा इस्लाम के अंदर दाखिल हो गए. मैं सारा तो नहीं बयान कर सका, लेकिन कुछ मैंने इस शॉर्ट टाइम में 20 से 25 मिनट्स में ट्राई टू जस्ट समराइज द होल इंसिडेंट ऑफ ग़ज़वा बदर in front of you. This teaches us a lot of things. Number one, if you have a strong belief in Almighty Allah, if you have a strong trust in Almighty Allah, if you have a true love of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then no one can defeat you. No one can defeat you. Sahaba Ikram Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in, apparently they went to invite Kuffar Makkah that come and kill us. Because there were just few, and there were 1,100 of those 1,000 Kuffar Makkah. 100 of them were the leaders of Kuffar. They were strong warriors, Jamju. They had the experience of the war. In front of those warriors, Sahaba Ikram Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in presented themselves. Apparently it was looking that they are going to be killed today. But, you know, when the jazba of the iman is so strong, when the passion is so strong, when the love is so strong, then nothing can worry you. When your mission is to get martyrdom, when your mission is to get martyred in the path of Almighty Allah, then these things don't make you worry. So if a person has the true love of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that la yu'minu ahadukum hatta akuna ahabba ilayhi min walidihi wa waladihi wan nasi ajma'in. You cannot become a strong believer, a complete believer, until you love me more than your own children. You love me more than your parents, and you love me more than anything else. La imana liman la muhabbat Allah. One who doesn't have the love of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his iman is not complete. So if you have the strong trust in Almighty Allah, if you have a strong belief in the mercy of Almighty Allah, in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as well as true love, then you are the victorious in this world, as well as you are going to attain success in hereafter. May Almighty Allah grant us tawfiq to have a true love of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to follow the seerah of Sahaba Ikram ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in. आज दुनिया में मुसलमान मसाइब व आराम का शिकार है, हर तरफ से शिकस्त का सामना है. इसकी एक वजह ये भी है कि हमने वो तरीका छोड़ दिया जो सहाबा इकराम का तरीका था, वो तरीका छोड़ दिया जो सहाबा इकराम का तरीका था. वो जज्बा हमसे छीन लिया गया, हमारे दिलों से निकाल दिया गया. हम वो जज्बा नहीं रखते, वो ईमान की पावर नहीं है हमारे पास जो सहाबा इकराम के पास थी. इसलिए मुसलमान को मुंह की खानी पड़ती है. दुनिया के किसी भी जगह पर मुसलमान नाकाम है तो उसकी एक ही वजह है कि दिलों के अंदर इश्क़ रसूल नहीं है, दिलों के अंदर सहाबा इकराम का वो जज्बा मौजूद नहीं है जो सहाबा इकराम लेकर जंगों के अंदर, मैदान के अंदर उतरा करते थे. अगर आप इस्लाम की फतूहात को पढ़ें, हज़रत खालिद बिन वलीद रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु की जंगों को पढ़ें, आपने जिस बहादुरी के साथ जो है वहां पर फतूहात की, 100,000 1,00,000 रोमियों का लश्कर हज़रत खालिद बिन वलीद रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु के 10,000 कंपेनियन के सामने था. 1,00,000 का लश्कर जर्रार, लेकिन कैसे उनको शिकस्त दी, कैसे शिकस्त दी और कैसे हज़रत खालिद बिन वलीद ने फतूहात हासिल की. जज्बा सलामत था, ईमान सलामत था. उनकी ये कोशिश होती थी, इसलिए नहीं जाते थे कि हमने कुफार को शिकस्त देनी है, बस नहीं, हमने शहादत हासिल करनी है. शहादत का एम और वो मकसद लेकर जाया करते थे. अल्लाह तबारक व तआला उनको फतह भी नसीब किया करता था. अगर वही जज्बा, वही पावर, वही स्ट्रेंथ अगर आज मुसलमानों के अंदर वापस आ जाए तो वो दिन दूर नहीं है कि जिस तरह बदर के अंदर अल्लाह तबारक व तआला ने फरिश्तों के जरिए से मुसलमानों की मदद की, आज भी अल्लाह तबारक व तआला अपने फरिश्ते आसमानों से मुसलमानों की मदद के लिए बता. अल्लाह रब्बुल इज्जत हमें सच्चा इश्क़ मुस्तफा अता फरमाए. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह आज 18वां रोज़ा है और 20वें रोज़े से सुन्नत इत्काफ के लिए लोग मस्जिद में बैठ जाते हैं. आई थिंक संडे को मगरिब से पहले मस्जिद में इत्काफ के लिए आना होगा. इत्काफ एक ऐसी इबादत है कि नबी पाक सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम खुद इत्काफ बैठा करते थे. अगर किसी साल मिस हो जाता तो नेक्स्ट ईयर नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम 20 दिन का इत्काफ किया करते थे. बाद में पूरा साल भी इत्काफ किया करते थे. और नबी पाक सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने सहाबा इकराम को ये भी फरमाया कि आखिरी अशरे के अंदर शब कदर को तलाश करो. मुमकिन है कि आखिरी अशरे के अंदर शब कदर हो. इसको तलाशने के लिए, इसको पाने के लिए भी लोग इत्काफ बैठते हैं. सहाबा इकराम इत्काफ बैठा करते थे ताकि हमें शब कदर मिल जाए. ये एक जमहूर उलमा इकराम का कौल है कि शेख अब्दुल कादिर जिलानी रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु का भी यही कौल है कि 27वीं शब कदर हुआ करती है. लेकिन इसमें इख्तिलाफ है क्योंकि इसका इल्म उठा लिया गया था. नबी पाक सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने इसको बयान नहीं किया कि कौन सी शब कदर है. इसलिए जो है ना बाज़ औलिया इकराम पूरा साल ही शब कदर को तलाशने के लिए ताक रातों में इबादत किया करते थे. पूरा रमजान ही इबादत में गुजार दिया करते थे कि क्या पता कौन सी शब कदर हो. नबी पाक सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने एक हदीस पाक के अंदर इरशाद फरमाया कि जो रिज़ाए इलाही के लिए एक दिन का इतिकाफ करे, one who sits for one day इतिकाफ only for the sake of Almighty Allah, अल्लाह तबारक व तआला उसके दरमियान और जहन्नम के दरमियान 3 खंदकें हायल कर देता है. और हर खंदक के दरमियान और जहन्नम के दरमियान 3 300 سال کی مسافت کا فاصلہ. کس کے لیے یہ ثواب ہے؟ جو صرف ایک دن کے اعتکاف کے لیے بیٹھتا ہے. اور پھر نبی پاک صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم نے ایک حدیث پاک کے اندر ارشاد فرمایا کہ one who will sit for the اعتکاف of 10 days, لاسٹ اشرا جیسے آ رہا ہے, تو one who sits for the اعتکاف of 10 days in the masjid, he earns the reward of 2 accepted Hajj and 2 accepted Umrahs. 2 مقبول حج اور 2 مقبول عمروں کا ثواب اللہ تبارک و تعالیٰ عطا فرماتا ہے. اس مسجد میں بھی الحمدللہ اعتکاف کے لیے اسلامی میں بیٹھتے ہیں. آپ بھی کوشش کیجئے, کچھ دن مہمان ہمارے پاس باقی ہے, اس مہمان کی قدر کیجئے. اگر آپ کے پاس وقت ہے, وقت نہیں بھی ہے تو عبادت کے لیے وقت تو نکالنا ہے. کوشش کر کے مسجد میں اعتکاف کے لیے ضرور بیٹھیں اور اپنا نام جو ہے نا وہ آج لکھوا دیں. اس کو لکھوانا ہوگا, سید صاحب کو لکھوا دیں, امام صاحب کو یا یہاں کے ذمہ داران کو لکھوا دیں تاکہ جو نا ارینجمنٹس کے مطابق کیے جا سکیں. اس کے ساتھ ساتھ ایک اور عرض ہے کہ فطرانہ بھی ادا کریں. فطرانہ ہر اس شخص پر واجب ہے جس پر زکوٰۃ واجب ہے. اگر نہیں بھی واجب ہے تو پھر بھی فطرانہ ادا کرنا چاہیے. نبی پاک صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم نے ایک حدیث پاک کے اندر ارشاد فرمایا کہ fast remain suspended in between the skies and the earth until the fitrana and the fitra is not paid. تو روزے زمین اور آسمان کے درمیان معلق رہتے ہیں. تو فطرانہ بھی ادا کیجیے. کوشش کر کے جو ہے نا, ابھی آج جمعہ کا دن ہے, جمعہ کی 1 نیکی 70 نیکی کے برابر ہوتی ہے, آج ادا کر لیجیے. وہاں پر باہر الحمدللہ فطرانے کا باکس بھی موجود ہے. اسلامی میں بھی ہو سکتا ہے کھڑے ہوں فطرانہ رسیو کرنے کے لیے, تو ان کو فطرانہ بھی ادا کیجیے. منیمم فطرہ جو ہے وہ ہے 40 رین. اگر آپ گندم سے ادا کرنا چاہتے ہیں تو 40 رین از دا فطرہ. اینڈ اف یو وانٹ ٹو پے through barley, then the 120 rand is the fitrah. Through dates, if you want to pay, then 330 rand will be the fitrah. And if you want to pay through raisins, so it will be 360 rand. تو اللہ کی راہ میں بیسٹ کیجیے. اگر اللہ نے آپ کو نوازا ہے, لن تنالوا البر حتى تنفقوا مما تحبون, اللہ کی بارگاہ میں پیش کرنا ہے تو سب سے محبوب چیز, سب سے جو آپ کو محبوب ہے وہ اللہ کی راہ میں دیجیے. اس کے ساتھ ساتھ جو جس میں فقیروں کا زیادہ فائدہ, اللہ نے نوازا ہے نا آپ کو, اللہ نے آپ کو دیا, سال میں ایک ہی دفعہ فطرانہ دینا ہوتا ہے, تو کوشش کر کے سب سے اچھا فطرانہ یعنی ریزنز کی صورت میں 360 رینڈ ادا کیجیے. منیمم جو نہیں دے سکتا, صاحب ثروت نہیں ہے, تو کم سے کم 40 رینڈ تو ہر کوئی دے سکتا ہے. آپ کا فطرہ, آپ کی اولاد کا فطرہ آپ پہ واجب ہے. نابالغ اولاد کا فطرہ آپ کو دینا ہوگا. اگرچہ آپ کی اولاد پاکستان میں ہے, آپ کی نابالغ اولاد کا فطرہ یہاں کے حساب سے دینا ہوگا آپ کو, کیونکہ آپ پہ ان کا فطرہ واجب ہے. ہاں, آپ کی وائف کا فطرہ آپ پہ واجب نہیں ہے, دیگر آپ کی بالغ اولاد کا فطرہ واجب نہیں ہے, تو ان کا اگر فطرہ دیں گے تو آپ پاکستان کے اعتبار سے دے سکتے ہیں. لیکن اگر 40 رینڈ دیں گے تو اوبویسلی پاکستان کا اماؤنٹ آٹومیٹکلی کور ہو جائے گا. تو چاہے اولاد پاکستان میں یہاں پر ہے, اللہ کی راہ میں دینا تو گنگنگ کا تھوڑا ہی دینا ہے. جتنا اللہ نے دیا ہے اس کے مطابق اللہ کی راہ میں خرچ کریں. اللہ رب العزت ہمیں عمل کی توفیق.